my God, yes, Shark Side of the Moon. If you wonder why you didn't know who I am. It's true, my big break in acting was a movie called Shark Side of the Moon. Can you guess what it's about? Russians. Exactly. Russian scientists have engineered a shark monster human hybrid to unleash on humanity. They lose control. So they trick the shark monsters onto a rocket ship to the moon, where years later my rocket ship crash lands and is forced to fight them. And my friends are like, Maxi, what genre is that? I'm like, best case scenario? It was so humiliating and also gratifying at the same time to get my first role in an extremely low budget movie. I usually love to call my dad and tell him I got a role. We have a thing going where I'll be like, hey Dad, I got a role. And he'll say, it's not porn, is it? And I'll say, gotta watch to find out. And if you can imagine, I was a little embarrassed to tell my dad I was in a shark horror film. Not to be confused with a shark horror film. But I called home. I was like, hey, Dad, I got a role. And he was like, it's not porn, is it? And I was like, based on the title, I really can't tell. I was reading through the script the night before filming. I was a last-minute replacement. And I get to the part in the script where the shark-human hybrid lady monster who's been helping I know it's a lot to keep track of. You look just as mystified as I was by page 64 when I flip to the part where she gets pregnant with a shark monster baby of her own, and my astronauts want to kill her, and I say, no, it's an innocent baby. It's done nothing wrong. And that's when I put the script down and I said, shit. I'm in a Christian film. LA has not been kind to a lot of us. I went there with dreams of being an actor. And LA is like a summer camp that parents send their kids to be taken down a peg. All their musical theater kids dancing around go there, and we realize, oh my God, this is gonna be impossible. This isn't like theater camp. The counselors here cost $300 an hour. And I know you guys know what it's like to live somewhere where there's impossibly beautiful people all around you. People here in Amsterdam look like they've won the genetic lottery. I keep looking up at Dutch women like, oh my God, your parents must be trees. And it's only gotten worse in my 30s. In my 20s, I came to LA and the jobs are already thin. Like in my 20s, it seemed like the only options were to be a dead prostitute. And now in my 30s, it seems like my only option is to be a dead prostitute. It's real tough. The beauty standards are so insane there. I got asked recently to leave the front of a spin class. So you're familiar. For not being hot enough. I was like, I'm the instructor. It is so hard when you're in a city surrounded by the most beautiful people. LA women can afford so much plastic surgery that you never know about to look immortal. I go to other cities and I say I'm pretty. They're like, yeah, you're pretty. I go to LA, I say I'm pretty. They're like, needs work. I did a tour through rural Canada. When I'm there, I'm basically a supermodel. I come back to LA, I'm basically a moose. I mean, attractiveness just varies from city to city. And I have self-esteem issues based on where I'm at geographically. Like if I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, I could have chosen a better location. If I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, I'm like, and I feel pretty, I'm like, oh, I must be really gorgeous. If I'm in LA and I feel really pretty, I'm like, oh, I must be on coke. It's hard. As a lady actors who get older, they treat you differently. Like my agent told me I'd get more work if I did something about the bags under my eyes. And I was like, they're genetic. All the women in my family have them because all the men in my family are exhausting. My only acting job recently has been acting offended when a guy catcalled me. He drove by, he was like, nice tits. I was like, pig! I like it when guys catcall me. It boosts my self-esteem. Like just here, the guy was like, hey girl, shake what your mom gave you. I was like, oh. Clinical depression's pretty hard to shake, but okay. No, I know I'm never going to be the ingenue. I'm never going to be the femme fatale. But just this week, I was offered a really, really great role. It was Cinnamon. Everyone thinks they're trying to make it to LA. You see people on TikTok just trying to make it to LA, thinking if they've made it to LA, that's it. They've won the golden ticket. And I think everyone's forgetting that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had a lot of movie after that. I finally realized in order to make it in LA, some weird old guy has to take a shine to me. And the rest of my competition has to mysteriously disappear. Anyone else here giving up, trying to keep up with beauty standards? You guys are beautiful. Forget it. You won't get it. That's okay. I say I'm not good looking. You guys are like, fuck you. Shay says that you guys are like, woo, he's a hero. Just had to see how you would react to see if you like me or not. Great. I've been failing to be a woman all my life. Like when I was a kid, I got bullied for being trans, and it was really hard because I was not trans. Because of my low voice and because I wore my older brother's hand-me-downs, girls would corner me in the bathroom and go, Maxi's a man, Maxi's a man. And then right there in the bathroom to prove I wasn't a man, I would have to cry in front of them. And that proved I wasn't a man. Proved I was a real man. I like my voice now because no one's ever going to accuse me of sounding hysterical. Other girls freak out. They're like, oh my God. I freak out. I'm like, oh my God. Like, she's taking this really well. She just got kicked out of her house, but she's doing fine. No, I think it's probably my fault that I don't get recognized as a lady quicker. Like, I'm not one of those women who's my pussy this, my pussy that, my pussy's a goddess. I'm like, really? A goddess? Mine's more like an air fryer. At first I was like, I'm gonna use this all the time. And then you get realistic and you're like, takeout's faster. But I don't get it. Girls your age, girls in their 20s, they're on TikTok. They're doing trends called vabbing. They're so proud of theirs. If you don't know, it's where they're taking themselves and dabbing it on like perfume. Right? My friend Rachel told me about it. She was like, ew, gross. Who wants to smell like a dead, rotten, smelly fish? I was like, you should get that checked out, Rach. Look, do what you want with your bodies, ladies. I don't care if you treat your pussy like a goddess, but I just hate the expectation that it sets up that we have to treat dicks like gods. Hey, I already treat my boyfriend's dick like a god. I ignored it except for major holidays. Can you still see me over here? Thanks, Marco. I had a disturbing discovery recently, and I'm going to get uncomfortably close to you to tell you about it. I was in the shower shaving, and I found an entire corner of pubic hair that had grown way past acceptable, just like the pinky nail, just way too long. It was like discovering an entire east wing of my vagina. I was like, has this always been here? I gotta start taking better care of her. This poor thing is getting hairballs. She's like, meow. 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 I'm like, oh, sorry, honey. That's my reaction to it, too. It was disgusting, you guys. It was like finding a hair in your soup. You're like, oh, no one's ever going to want to eat that again. I got really scared when I first saw it. I was like, oh, phew, I thought those were cobwebs. Clearly, it's been too long since my pussy has seen a hairstylist. You know it's a bad sign for your relationship, for your sex life, when a patch of hair has been growing way too long without anyone noticing. And if you're like, Maxi, how long is too long? I'd say depends on the couple. It's a time length, Joe. It's fine. I'm going here with you guys tonight. I'm so sorry about this, but I have to tell you. I think sharing gross stuff with your partner is what bonds you together for life. And so even though I could have hidden this from him, I couldn't wait to tell my boyfriend. Because part of me was like, yeah, I could hide it forever, or this could put us over the edge into marriage. I don't know. Like, I thought I was trying really hard at grooming and being a good partner. That's the worst part. That's the most embarrassing part, is I thought I was trying. And to find something like that out is happening right under my nose. Well, not right under, but it's like cleaning out your grandfather's attic and finding out he has Nazi memorabilia. You see it, you're like, oh my God. Does anyone else know this is here? Maybe I can hide it before anyone notices. I told them, and I was like, hey, I got to show you something that you're either going to find really amusing or really creepy. We're still in Nazi land. Does anyone follow this? Okay, it's new. Thanks, you guys. Come all the way to Amsterdam just to try some Nazi jokes. We'll skip it. I'm going to play the blame game. I'm not a perfect woman. I know there's like high standards to live up to, and I mostly think it's because I didn't have a great female role model. Anyone else not have a good relationship with their moms? Wow. That's why I'm here and you're there. So my mom kicked me and my siblings out over 10 years ago, and my friends will be like, does that give you abandonment issues? I'm like, ugh, no. Just makes me weirdly attached to middle-aged women. I'll be like, don't leave me. They're like, ma'am, your nails have been done for 20 minutes. You can go. Stay with me. You people. So, okay. My siblings and I have been telling everyone my mom is mentally ill for years. That's our explanation, because it's either the truth or a very vain way to tell someone why your ex doesn't want to talk to you anymore. People are like, oh, is she mentally ill? We're like, must be. And we don't even know what it is. We're just taking guesses at what her issue might be. I keep being like, guys, I think it's postpartum depression. Listen, I'd hate to lose me too. If you have mental illness in the family, it's your job to warn your partner. So when I met my boyfriend, I was like, hey, I just want you to know the last person who let me go went insane. So balls in your court, dude. Some people think it's mean. Some people have told me that's not right because some people have told me that's not right to make up that someone has a mental condition. But I think it's nice to give them the benefit of the doubt for their actions. So like, my dad, so bad with social cues. So bad. My siblings and I are really hard on him. We yell at him. Till one day my brother was like, I think dad might be autistic. Like, oh, so now we're so much nicer to him. Like, we'll be out in public and my dad will be like, vote for Trump. We're like, that's our special little guy. And I'm sorry, I don't want to divide the room. I don't want to make it sound like you have to have something mentally wrong with you to be autistic. I don't know if I trust you guys enough to go to this next place. I think some people do, though, use mental illness as an excuse. Like, some people say they're mentally ill when really they're just Kanye. I think it's time we started treating racism like a mental illness. Yeah, I think there's plenty of people who deserve to be called the R word. Other R word. Come on. My dad, I'm not even going to finish that part. My dad is very sad because I go by my mom's name, despite not talking to her, because my real name, my maiden name, his name is Gumprecht. It's German. And he goes, oh, you're not proud of your German heritage? Like, Dad, I have blonde hair and blue eyes. Other ethnicities get parades, get festivals. I do not want to be caught dead in a room full of people calling themselves proud anything. Privately, I'll be proud of it. For instance, since I moved in with my boyfriend, he's gotten COVID 3 times. I've gotten it 0. And he says, must be those strong German genes. If only everybody had those strong German genes. And I'm like, yes. What if everybody had strong German genes? What if there were a way to systematically, thanks, Marco, ensure, nah, it's been done. Isn't it scary to know those people are out there who think that way? And I get fooled all the time because I'm very easily fooled. You can't tell someone's like that, especially if they're nice to you. If someone's weird and mean, I'm like, oh, they're obviously a problem. If someone's weird and tells me I'm awesome, I'm like, oh, they're obviously a delight. I was in Goodwill shopping, and a guy comes off the street, comes up to me and goes, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're stunning, you're gorgeous. And the cashier comes up to me and says, ma'am, is this man bothering you? And I was like, not at all. I get weirdos DMing me all the time. One guy slid into my DMs and said, hey, you are refined, you are classy, you are clearly the picture of a lady. And I was like, whoa. This guy gets me. But then he went on to say, I can tell from your comedy, you are very hardworking, diligent. If only all comedians had your German work ethic. And I was like, yes. My dad is bummed I gave up my maiden name. He's bummed I'm not more traditional. You know, I'm a woman in my 30s. I'm not married. I don't have kids. And his point of view is like, you shouldn't give up your maiden name before you're married. And I was like, Dad, if you're disappointed that I gave up my maiden name before I'm married, I have some bad news for you. I gave up something else. I did just move in with my boyfriend a year ago. I'm sorry, sometimes I use notes because I suffered an injury to my head a few years ago called a pixie cut. Some of you suffer from it. I'm so sorry. It's my journey. Moved with my boyfriend. Anyone here living with their significant other? All right, not real quick on the jump. That's about the amount of enthusiasm. It's been a real adjustment, you guys. I just figured it was my first time living with someone else, and I figured, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. I'm in my 30s. I get a little old to be calling him my boyfriend. I should really start practicing calling him my... Excuse me, my hostage. One day you look at yourself, you're like, Maxi, you're not getting any younger. It's time to lock him in your basement. People are like, Maxi, how do you hang on to such a great guy? I'm like, oh, the old-fashioned way. Chicken wire. I am an introvert. I love my space. I need my space. So the biggest thing has been suddenly being put together. Like, habits that didn't used to bother me about him can now ruin my entire day. Like, before we moved in together, I never noticed that he does this one thing where every morning he wakes up, I don't know if I can get him to stop. I'm worried I'm going to snap. I'm going to snap, and the headlines are going to read, Maxi Wittrak kills boyfriend in fit of rage. And the question on everyone's minds is going to be, she dates men? Really? It's true. After every show, I get at least one woman coming up trying to test my straightness. It's like, no, honey. Men have tested it plenty. So I am at home. I don't usually get the place to myself. He doesn't have many outdoor interests. He works from home, so he never leaves. I kind of feel like a single parent of a 10-year-old boy who's addicted to video games. I finally got to drop him off for a bachelor party weekend with the boys. I was like, it felt like I was a mom dropping her kid off at summer camp. I was like, bye, have fun with the guys. God, I hope this makes him less weird. Maybe one of them will teach him how to kiss. It's way harder for him, though, because he's got to be with someone who will never cheat on him, might leave him. There's no one I'd rather be with than him, but I'd also rather be with no one than him. Like, the way he would find me cheating is look at my credit card bill and be like, there's a hotel room on here. Are you cheating on me? I'd be like, no, that was just me. But there's enough room service for 2 people. Also just me. We gotta have appreciation for our partners. Like David was saying at the beginning, I think appreciation for partners go a long way. Like, I'm old enough to not be dumb enough to cheat, because I know I'm not trading it in at this point for something better. That's impossible. I'm old enough to know now, men are like buildings in Europe. From a distance, wow. Look at that. I gotta check that out. That looks really oh, it's another McDonald's. And you can be annoyed with that, or you can be like, hey, at least my McDonald's has already seen me eat a burger in my pajamas. I'd much rather stay there. I have guys trying to tempt me. I hate it when a guy knows I have a boyfriend and still tries to hit on me. Oh, having troubles getting your space? Why don't you come over to my place? You'd be there! I'm not going to trade my guy for someone who doesn't listen! Guys are always lying to you to try to get you over to their place. I've had so many guys. Oh, don't worry. We'll go back there. We don't even have to have sex. We'll just watch Disney movies. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, do you have Mulan? Gets me every time. I don't want to be back out there. I hate that guys have dating strategies. I'll overhear my guy friends saying the most despicable things just to try to get a woman. I'm like, guys, stop. We don't want to be treated like a target. We want to be treated like Target. Walk up to her and say, hey, you've got everything I need. Why would I go anywhere else? Instead, they're like, no, you got to nag a woman, make her feel bad first. I'm like, no. Now you're treating me like Walmart. Like you're embarrassed to be seen inside of me. Guys give each other bad advice for getting women. I was in a bar once and a guy walked up to me and started reciting the alphabet. I was like, wrong situation, dude. I think if any guy really wants to get a woman, his first step has to be stop asking out 20-year-olds. They haven't lowered their standards yet. 30 and up, that's how you get them. Because, guys, you already know, if you ask out a 20-year-old who's not interested, you're getting, You ask out a 30-year-old who's not interested, you're getting drinks. Even as a woman, saying no to a guy is so scary because the moment you reject them, they turn into a different person. If a woman's hitting on me and I turn her down, she lets me keep the compliment. She's like, that's okay, beautiful. Thanks anyway, gorgeous. You have a good weekend. I turn a guy down, he takes it back like, dumb bitch, didn't want you anyway. Women let me go home with a party favor. Men let me go home if I'm lucky. I've tried to figure out for a long time why women take rejection so much better than men. And I thought maybe it's because we're used to only getting 70% of what we asked for. I asked my boss for a raise and he said no. And I was like, that's okay, beautiful. Thanks anywhere, gorgeous. You have a good weekend. But I think ultimately, like women, we're okay with giving a compliment and expecting nothing in return. Like, just here in front of Boom, I saw a girl in a pretty dress, and I was like, excuse me, you look really nice in that dress. And she said, ugh. And I was like, dumb bitch, didn't want you anyway. Look, I know I make fun of men a lot. But I might seem harsh. I might seem like a man hater. Truly, I appreciate all the good guys in my life. And I hope they know who they are because it's the bad eggs that I'm really making fun of. The good guys have supported me. They've made me the woman that I am, which might explain the eyebrows. But I'm really grateful for them. My dad, my brothers, some of my very best guy friends on this very lineup. Also, my boyfriend flew out all the way from LA just to be here for this. He's here right now. Where is he? Actually, if it's okay with you guys, I just have one thing I want to do before I go because I think it would be really special. That's not my boyfriend. But that is his usual response. Oh, God. I guess if the theme of tonight is appreciation for good guys and appreciations for our partners, I will say this. Like, I don't want to know what you're saying back there. I know I've been afraid of someone trading me out for someone younger, but I think my boyfriend can rest assured I will never trade him out for someone younger, mostly because younger guys have always been a giant disappointment. Wow. I expected a lot more like, woo, you're a hero. Woo, we totally agree. I don't want to date younger guys anymore because they don't do anything. My boyfriend's a little older than me. He makes me breakfast in the morning. I know. The only thing a younger guy ever made me in the morning was get out. I still remember one looking down at me with that look of, ugh, you're still here. And I was like, this is my apartment. My boyfriend has already done everything with other women that I don't want to do anymore. I'm getting lazy in bed. I only have 2 moves left. It's actually one, but backwards. Don't tell him. Younger guys want to do everything I don't want to do anymore. I still remember my last hookup. I was like, do we have to do 69? He's like, we could talk. 69 it is. They get in way over their heads. They're trying to try stuff. They're just so excited to try everything that I don't want to do. I had one guy tell me, hey, I could show you things an older guy never could. I was like, prove it. And then I let him program my Alexa. One of them wanted to try choking. I was like, nuh-uh. He's like, it'll be fun. It didn't get fun till 2 minutes in when I played dead. I was like, ugh. He went, oh, lost his boner. I was like, ooh, this is fun. One of them goes, do you have a rape fantasy? I was like, yes. Said, you're a powerful Hollywood producer. and I'm raping you. Mostly, I just hate being disappointed, and I've had guys in their 20s all along come up with excuses for why they can't get it up, and it's starting to make me feel bad. I'm like, babe, I'm too tired. Babe, I'm too high. Babe, everyone in Fabo can hear us. I'm starting to think it's me. One guy told me I was so beautiful, it just intimidated the boner right out of him. Next time he got it up, I was like, oh, not so pretty anymore, huh? Dick lets you down. Vagina doesn't do that. Vagina doesn't let you down. Dudes, you've never been out with your friends going, hey, man, you hook up with that girl last night? Nah, man, she got too drunk. She couldn't get it open. Thanks, you guys. I've been Maxi. Have a good night.